questions do you have after the metabolic test? What direction do you want to take?
So for me, I definitely have an aggressive plan to lose the 20 pounds and lose it in time for Punta Cana. I've always been curious about my blood work to know whether or not I'm running optimally, because I felt I was recently around a few friends and we were all talking about feeling a little flat, and one of the recommendations was see a naturopathic doctor, see whether or not everything is optimal as it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of an aggressive plan, but also some concerns. Like, is there a way for me to feel better? When maybe I'm not always as high on energy as I would like to be.
And one of the reasons that you will be slow to lose weight, or that you could be slow to lose weight, is if you don't have the right recovery program. And the recovery program for you should consist of 4 and perhaps 6 different things. Continue to exercise the way you're doing, because you're not having any complaints about things being broken down. The diet we'll talk more about in terms of what we're going to recommend specifically for you. But the recovery program for you has to include the following. Number 1, it has to include enough protein. The protein per day for you will calculate out at 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body weight.
Okay.
And lean body weight we'll pick from the charts. In your case, we'll pick 20 pounds less than you weigh today.
Okay.
And convert it to kilograms, 1.5 grams. If you can consume at least 25 to 30 grams of a good quality protein supplement post-workout, that's going to be optimal for you. Okay. If you want to do other protein drinks during the day, as long as it adds up to 1.5 grams per kilo. The second thing is vitamin D. This is an area where everybody is vitamin D deficient. And 5,000 units of vitamin D daily will almost invariably get your levels to where it needs. Now, people read about it and they say, well, it can be toxic, but studies have shown that 5,000 units of vitamin D, in fact 50,000 units of vitamin D every day for 5 months failed to produce toxicity in anybody. A good rule of thumb is if you're healthy enough to exercise, you're not going to get vitamin D toxic. That's a problem that occurs in people with renal failure and other medical issues. The third supplement that's going to be beneficial for you is fish oil, EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid. The purer the better. It can come in liquid form, flavored, that you can mix into your protein drinks. It can come in pills, but you need about 4 grams a day. That's usually 4 tablets. And the final supplement is creatine. And everybody argues, well, it's good for this, it's bad for this. It's great for muscle recovery. Does it make you big and bulky? Probably not. But does it help with muscle recovery? People who use steroids to build muscle, they don't realize that one of the biggest advantages to steroid use is that it helps with recovery. They can spend 5-6 hours in the gym, and the next day they're ready to go on a different muscle group. So the anti-inflammatory benefits are almost as good as the muscle building benefits. Now, in addition to those 4 supplements, what we often recommend for people who are in more of an athletic mode is to prevent muscle loss, which can happen with exercise. Prevent muscle loss and potentially improve muscle growth is carnitine, L-carnitine, which is an amino acid. And then finally, CLA, or conjugated linoleic acid, is an excellent supplement to help cut fat. That's another thing, is with a diet like you're doing, we want to discuss how do you reduce the fat. And unfortunately, we have to go back to the 1950s, and for somebody like you, recommend that you cut the fat. Normally, we tell people keep fat at least 1/3 of your calories, and if your appetite's hard to control, add it up as high as 50%, because fat will reduce the appetite. But when you're already athletic, you already have good muscle mass, and you want to cut the fat, it becomes like a cutting program with a bodybuilder. We want your fat intake to be 0.5 grams per kilogram of lean body weight per day. So you're going to cut the fat down, you're going to increase the protein, and the carbs are going to balance out the rest of your calorie load.
$179. So $179 after 1 week working here with Ageless with Dr. Cilip, we're down from $188 to $179.